Well, good afternoon, everybody. Here we are again. Wednesday. Gosh, where did these days go? 2 o'clock, and it's the 10th of November. And oh, goodness me, 189. I can't, sometimes it just doesn't hit, does it? We've done 189 tiles, and they're all different. And we just have such a lovely community. I've been reading the posts that you've been putting on about the tile swap. And I know sometimes things don't get there, or we find that somebody hasn't posted to say they've got theirs, but give it a little bit of time, because of course we have some in Ireland, we have some in Canada, so they get all around. So just be a little patient. And of course, if after, I don't know, 3 or 4 days that yours hasn't been posted, then post it yourself and just say, look, this is the one I did, and I hope it's had a lovely journey and somebody's appreciating it somewhere, which I'm sure they are. So here we go. My goodness me. Okay, I'm going to start today. What have I got with me? I've got my wet chalky pencil, my regular pencil. I've got my pen, and yes, it does have my name on it. You will get them on Friday, because I've put them on the list for Create and Craft. And I've got a couple of tortillons there. So what we're up to today then, let's have a look. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to start with a border. Now, as we know, with borders, you can do it by hand, or if you want to do it a little bit differently, you can go ahead and do it straight away in pen. I think I'm going to start in pencil though, just in case I decide that I'm going to go out the border. I think it's always wise to do that, and then if you if you want to later, we can go back over it in pen. So here we go. Of course, a bit of a not a confession as such today. I'm actually waiting in for a parcel. I'm sat here and I'm prepping for the shows on Friday. But I'm waiting for a parcel that should have arrived on Monday and didn't. So we changed it for today, so I could be working from home. But as you can obviously imagine, it's not arrived yet. So we could have 2 dogs barking and a knock on the door at any time. So if that happens, I'm sure you'll talk amongst yourselves for a little bit. It's the same thing, isn't it? We all have this when you're waiting for something. Okay, so border done in pencil, and here we go. I'm going to come straight in with pen, and I don't want to start in the middle. I'm going to start on one end. Again, it doesn't matter whether you do it at the bottom, the top, wherever you want to go with it. So let's have a look. I'm going to put one in. I'm going to put one in here now. If you feel a little bit more comfortable doing this in pencil, just to get the shape, please feel free, but it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Remember, it's a bubble. There we go. All right. So in terms of bubbles, let's have a look. Look at the pen lid. It's smaller than the pen lid. You see, covers it up nicely, just so you get the idea. Okay. So let's have a look then. I'm going to start with, I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to create a line slightly sort of off at an angle, sticking within the border. Let's go a bit bigger so you can see it. And then I'm going to do another one this side. There we go. I'm going to join the two with a sort of a straight top there. Okay. All right. So let's do the same sort of thing, but this time it's going to be a little bit longer. So here we go. I'm just going to bring it down. I'm not going to completely cover the whole thing, but it's definitely longer than that first one. Again, bringing it out, and I'm going to join it across the bottom there. Okay, so far so good. All right, next one then. I'm going to sort of split. I want to put perhaps 2. Yeah, I'm going to go with 2 here. So if I sort of gauge that and put 1 here, here we go. And 1 that side. Join it. There we go. Just touching the border there. And then I'm going to split my space here and put another one in. And again, just sort of working it outwards. Now this one is going to go slightly over, so it's a good job that we drew that in pencil. Okay, a bit like a sun's rays. Yeah, Glenys, they are they are the same. It's just that we've changed the material for the word stencils. So if you don't have them, and they're actually Mylar this time rather than card, which is why they're a little bit more expensive, because it takes an absolute whole sheet on the machine to cut them. But yeah, they're all in plastic material now, which means you can emboss them and they're going to last a lot longer. So there we go. Okay, let's have a look at this. So there we go, a bit of a shape there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you can only get 5, or if you want to put 8, it's absolutely fine. It's just that it gives you a little bit of a starting point. And I'm just going to come a little bit larger, because what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a little aura just around that bubble, you see there, and turn the tile, and then just add the bubble, or the aura around that bubble there, you see. And one more, just going to do that one there. Okay, so I'm now going to come to these little shapes here. I'm going to just bring out a line, just sort of slightly further out to both sides, not too wide, and then I'm going to take it in almost as though it was going back to a point. The same there, very Art Deco. Okay, so if I do the same sort of here, I'm going to just bring a little line out. See, it's a little bit further down on the top there. Oh, Sandra, now I'm just doing the demo prep for the diary now, and of course there's a couple of stencils on there as well. But, there's some fab samples that the girls have done for me, so hopefully you'll like what you see. Obviously it's a diary, but it's not just a diary. So yeah, let's see. I don't always want to show you everything because it'll spoil the surprise. So I hope you like it. There we are. And then next one. So I'm just working my way around, just adding these little lines. Joe, there is, I mean, the word stencils we've said, I've brought those before, but I've changed the material that we use. This last time they were in card, but this time they're actually in Mylar. Actually, do I have them here? So I've got, 1 second. Here we go. See, I've just made them up on boards ready, so you can see that they're actually, oh, there you go. They're actually in Mylar this time. And yes, there is a new stencil. And again, I don't know if I don't want to spoil the surprise. It's worth watching, I'm sure. I might show you at the end. Okay. So there we go. We've got all that kind of thing done. So next one, I'm going to, again, aura. I'm going to make it a bit bigger, actually. And I'm going to aura just around the shape there, just the same as we did before. Just following it round, creating that little extra sort of bubble behind the others. Oh, missed one there. That's okay, I can slide that one in. There we go. Just sort of sneak it in past there. There you go. It's like it never happened. Hey! All right, so let's just check. Yeah, we've got all done my aura. There we go. And then again, I'm going to come on in. And it's all the talking I do, I forget. Just these little lines. And then bringing it down again. One there. And one there. So if I actually focus on this, I'll follow one next to the other. There we are, straight down as before. And same that side. Turning it round, so one line either side. It's nice to sort of keep it level, it's easier to do it that way, I find. And then of course one in there. one in there. And into the next one. This one to here. And then down to this one. Into this one. And of course then the larger one. I think when I get to the end I'm going to just check I've got them all done. I think I have this time. There we are. Add to this one. Oh, sorry, yeah, it does look a bit starlight, doesn't it? I do like this particular tangle, and you don't have to do it as sort of shapes like this. You can do straight lines if you want to, and then aura. So let's just check. I've got 2 on each one there. There we go. And then here we go. Onto here. And again, just sort of aura around the shape. Okay, it's nice, isn't it? I like this one. I think I'm going to do, just going to do one more. Now, of course, you might find that you've gone a little bit wider than mine. That's fine, and you don't have much space. So that's okay. You can stop at this point. Or you might think, do you know what? I've done enough. Don't need to do any more. That's fine. Or you might think, do you know what? I've done them really thin, so I need to do an extra one. That's fine too. Okay, same with this one, to there. And down into here. So working my way around. And this one. Into there. And then down to this one. So that's the longest one. That's the trickiest, I would say, if you're a little bit shaky. But that's okay, because you're drawing all the lines. They're all going to look the same. So there we go. So here, look, I've got quite a narrow one. And then, of course, the same here. So that gives me 3 either side. 3, 3. That's it. Look, I'm all the way around. And if you can, I'm just going to add in that last little sort of aura there. There we go. You see that aura's forming a little shape there within itself, isn't it? So you've got this sort of little star in the middle. Lynn, I think it is, yeah. Just, I've got my notebook here. It's the 3rd Monday in every month. So if Monday is the 3rd Monday, let's have a quick look at my notes. Tile swap, oh, that's tile swap 8, swap 10. Next tile swap is Monday the 15th of November, so yes, you are right. Okay, I better get my self in gear, hadn't I? Okay, so next one then, I'm going to come back in pencil, and you'll sort of see why in a minute, because I just want to give myself a bit of a starting point. So I've got a bit of a bubble in there, so it's not too small. Smaller than that one, but not too. Okay. Oh, Glenny's. So here we go. I'm just going to now add in, and you might just want to watch this first. I'm going to add a line. There's 1, 2, so I've got this one, and then I'm going to add another. So that's my second. I'm going to aim for 5, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then in between each of those little spaces, I'm going to add a bubble. One there, look, and there. Just all the way around. You see why I put that circle in, or that bubble, to help? Okay. So then, in each of these spaces, I'm not going to start at the very top. I'm going to just come in a little bit, and I'm going to create a little sort of M shape. And same on this side. And this side. And this one. And this one. Now, they don't really have to match, so don't think they've got to be the same size all around. And I'm going to just then aura on the inside. So I've got an extra little line in there. Same on this one. going to keep going round. There we go. And I think I'm going to just fill in those bubbles there. There we are. Just a little bit of ink. Okay. And then if you can reach, I'm just going to add a couple of little lines. Look like a little V in each one there, just to give it a bit of dimension. Okay. And let's just work it in. See, I've got one there. So I'm just going to put one. I'm going to go out of piece here. Maybe see a few here. I'm going to give myself some space because I know I've got to put these sort of little shapes around. Maybe one here. So let's do those and see how it goes. So just as before, I'm going to come a little bit larger. So you're all picking on me now. You all want a sneak peek. It's not fair. Do you not like surprises? Do you not? Oh, do you not want to wait? Okay, same again. Like you see, I've got my 5 little sort of spokes coming off this circle, and then here I'm gonna fill it in as I go. I think so. I've got these little bubbles just sort of joining those lines together there. There we go. Okay, and then you see, I'm gonna go a little bit larger with that because I want to put this shape in. Not to worry if they are a little bit small, because we're going to extend them in a little bit. There we go. You see? And in we go. So, just sort of giving it that little aura on the inside there. So you'll know if you can't get the aura in, if yours are a little bit small, don't worry about it. Just get them in if you can. Same with these little V's. There we go. So let's move over. And just as before, so I'm going to go, I'm not worried really about which angle they're going in. I'm just trying to get sort of 5 of those spokes in. There we go. All right. And I know, I love you all. There we are, you've convinced me. And of course our regular tile spot on Friday at 2 is going to be a bit tricky, and we know that it's not always easy to do internet-based stuff on Create and Craft. So I propose that our tile 190, we should do it on Saturday instead. How's that sound? Saturday at 2 o'clock. Of course, you can watch back later. It's just so the internet connection's not so good there, so I wouldn't want to do it and you not be able to watch. So let's swap it and have it for Saturday afternoon instead. There we go. Okay. Then, oh, missed one there. So let's do same one here. So just as before, I'm going to go for those spokes. There's another and another. Just keep working it. All right. So, oh good. Saturday it is then. We'll do Saturday. But, we had to take our Seth to the vets actually the other night. He's not been feeling very well. He's got some arthritis coming on. The vet gave him an injection and gave him some pills. So, Benji's looking after him. I'm trying to eat his food anyway. I think Seth's a little bit more vocal than usual because he's a bit old and grouchy. So anything that walks past the window gets a bark. Okay, next one. And the same again. See, this one's again quite close to the border, so I'm going to go on the inside this time. I'm going to let that border contain this one. There we go. All right. And same with those little bubbles. Just sort of joining the spokes together there. And then back in with that shape. See, this one's going to be a little bit smaller than the others. But that's okay. The same as before. Oh, see, that's lovely. That's great news. You're getting on with it then. I must admit, once you do start, it is a little bit addictive. It's really nice and relaxing to do. So I did have a lady yesterday called in, and she was quite, impressed with the artwork on the wall. So we sat down and had a go, and the little squeal of delight once the shading goes on and that tortillon gets used. It's lovely. Needless to say, she took a book with her as well. And here we go. So, all right. See, they've gone just sort of in there. I'm just gonna leave that inside the border. All right. And just again add those little sort of flicks. Okay, let's just have a look at where we are. There we go, it's quite nice. I like these sort of dotted around. I think maybe a couple more though. I think, yeah, I'm going to put another one here. So I've got a bit of a cluster going on, haven't I? And then I'm going to add another one, I think actually up here. And I'm going to just go over the design there, just so you can see where it's headed. We can always sort of rub that out a little bit later. And again, I've got a decision to make. Do I actually go over the border or do I stay in? So I think I've gone over the border there, and I'm going to stay in the border this time. Just let it contain that little shape. Okay, a little bit odd these, aren't they? Kind of not quite sure where they're headed and what they're doing. So I do have actually a little bit of a heads up. I have got some new items coming, and it's something that we've been wanting for ages, because I can't tell you any more than that. And it shouldn't have been here until January, but I've had a message this morning saying that it should be with us by the beginning of December. So it might be that this particular thing you've all been waiting for might be on my birthday show, which is, I don't know if it's 16th, 17th December, something like that. Oh. Yeah, Glenys, this would be, wouldn't it? A little bit of colour in there. It certainly does give it that feel. Maybe we'll add a little hint of red on. See how it goes. Okay, so see, I'm just getting a little bit of one here. I'm going to leave this one inside the border. And again, just sort of working my way around, just doing those little bits. There we go, a little bit of a V there. Let's have a look at this then. Okay. All right, quite happy with that. I like it like that. I don't want to put too many of these on and lose the background. So here we go. So next bit then. So we've got these lines. At the moment, they look unfinished. So, I know, Louise, I'm mean, but it's funny. So here we go. You see, I've got these lines. And now, if you wanted to leave it as a stylized flower, you could perhaps just do a little curve on the top of these, just to sort of finish it off. But I want to take it a bit further today. I want to extend it. So I'm going to go along, and I'm just going to take it, I think, to the border, this one. And same with that line. There we go. Well, let's turn it round, and this one, again, I'm just going to take it and extend it to that border. See, just sort of working that line in. Okay, so let's look at this one here as well. I'm going to bring it up here, and then it's going to go underneath, and I'm going to take that one out into the edge of the tile. There we go. Same with this one. Oh, it's a bit wonky there. Well, that's okay. Okay, let's have a look at these two then. So here, I'm going to just bring it out here, and then of course I'm going to go underneath, and then along here, and then underneath I'm going to stick with in the border there. And then same with this one. Oh, there we go. Under there and just into there. And that's typical. Just talk amongst yourselves for 1 second. Oh, goodness me, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, Seth's still barking, but she's gone. Oh, I've never ran upstairs so quick in all my life. Oh, here we go. Oh, my goodness. Where were we? I don't mind because it was for me. I have no idea what it was, but it's for me. Oh, okay. This is the time you need a Leslie Elf, isn't it? And she would have answered the door for me. Okay. Oh, not to worry. So along here, underneath, and along here. There we go. Same with this one. Oh, it's very intriguing. It could be anything. We all do these things. Okay. Oh, hello, Benji. Benji's come to see what all the fuss is about. Oh, don't you just love live? Oh, Chris, I just didn't want to miss any of our live session. So you're like, I need to take a photo. I'm like, do it as I'm running. Do it as I'm running. Okay, let's take another one. I'm gonna look at this one. And here we go. I'm just going to extend this line. And then this time I'm going to go up, underneath, and down that one. And I'm going to stop at the border. There we go. And into this one. I think that's my exercise for the day anyway. At least Benji didn't try and run me off at the stairs. Yes. There we go. So I'm just sort of following these lines. I think Benji's worked out it's not food, so he's leaving me now. See, I'm not going to go any further with that. I'm just going to take this one out because it's right on the border. Okay, so I've got one here. Now again, this one is going to go all the way along here, down here, and then underneath, and then again, following it through, down there, and along there. You see how it's starting to sort of interlock now? It's looking a little bit different. So this one I'm going to pull up here, and then of course I'm going to get to that line, so I'm going to stop. And then this one I'm going to leave. Well, so I could actually take it out the border, but now I think I'm going to leave it in. But your choice, wherever yours are. And then here I'm just going to pull this one out. And again, I'm going to stop at that border. And then pulling this one through. I'm actually, yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to take it out the border. And this one's going down here. And then of course this one, it's just going to go there because at the top really, yeah, there's not much you're going to see. Maybe a bit there. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Maureen, I wouldn't worry about it. Apparently my download of my Back to Basics booklet breaches code. So I don't know why. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, see, I'm going to take that one out. So I wouldn't worry about it. There we go. Same on this one. And you see how that sort of moves up there? And again, I'm going to take that one out. Oh, there'll be a bit there, I think. Up there. And along there. This is one that you've got to sort of watch to see, you know, where it takes you. But as long as you do one at a time and just sort of follow it through, even if you've got to use a straight edge. I suppose here, if you look, you're sort of going to see a bit underneath there because there's a gap. So it needs to be sort of done. And let's go with this one here. And again, I'm just going to leave this one stopping at that border. So, working on this one. So I'm going underneath the lines each time. Same with this one. Now this is a great one. If you want to add it to a journal page, you can extend these lines out and you can create more of these flowers. So you're getting a little bit of a bigger design. You're going to see a little bit of that. I think I'm going to take that one out. Okay, let's move on to this one. So same as before. See these, I'm going to stop them at the border, so I don't need to sort of push them anymore. And this one up and it's going underneath. Same with this one, underneath. There we go. Oh, Sue, you're lucky. I was on my way, or should have been on my way to USA last week. Should have flown on the 2nd, but not meant to be. So have a good time. I know it's delayed, but you'll be fine. Have a good time. Oh, I think I'm going to extend that one. Maybe next year. Okay, and along there. See? Mind you, if I'd have gone to America, you wouldn't have had your diary until I came back. So that's a good thing, isn't it? All these good things come. No problem. There we go. Alright, so I've just got one there that I need to extend there, and it's going to go up and sort of along there. And I think that's all of them done. Looks a bit crazy there. Okay, so let's just now fill in the border if we can. So just having a look, following it round, and if any lines, as you see, go out, we're just going to sort of work around those. Same down here. So I'm just sort of reinforcing it a little bit, and going back and forth, just slightly thickening up the line. There we go. And around, sort of the same. You see any that we've got going in the border? You can see there that now it's very definitely in the border. And then any here. Let's go round. Oh, have I? Oh, now you're going to make me look, aren't you, in there? Where have I missed it? If I have, I'm... Oh, I see ya. If it's this one, great. If not, then there we go. That's going to go up here, look, through there. Oh no. It's all that running around. There we go. Just sort of following it through. Okay, let's have a look at it. Oh, there you go. That's better. Okay. So at the moment, everything's sort of at one level, isn't it? Nothing's been sort of given any dimension. I think just before we do that, I'm just going to choose a few of the spaces. And I'm just going to choose some of the corners. And I'm going to add in some bubbles. Okay, you see? And of course, any of those gaps you can just fill in with a bit of black ink. And maybe a few here. You see how they're sort of close together and then they disappear a little bit. Oh, have I missed another one? I'm sure I'll find it. It's always working it out. Oh, there, yeah, there, look. Oh, just going to take that one down there. What would I do without you? I'd have missed it completely. There we go. I'm not going to take... Oh, no, I'm not going to take that one further in. I'm going to leave it. Because I can. Alright. Let's add a few bubbles in there. And a few in here. There we go. Just filling in the gaps here and there. Oh, thank you, Nadia. It's kind of nice. It's nice actually in this colour as well. This is one of the earth tiles. It's a nice little brown. You can use your white and your black on it. I like that about them. So again, see, I'm not putting lots in, and I'm not doing it on every single one. Just sort of going in, adding bits. So what we've got to decide now is if we're going to put a little bit of colour in here, is where we're going to put the colour. Now the obvious place would be the original shape that we drew. So we could do that. Or we could just decide to colour the bubbles and shade everything else. It's a tricky one. Let's put a few more of these bubbles in and let's have a look and see what we think. Now maybe we go with the obvious and do that. Or I'm not so sure. Do I always do obvious? Possibly not. Maybe a couple in there. Okay, like that. So I think I'm just going to bring. So I'm going to bring the colour in after, and I think actually I'm going to look at the bubbles for the colour and just do it that way, just as a something different, so you can see how it works. I think what I'm going to do though, in the centre here, I'm going to put a line from top, not all the way to from the bottom all the way to the top. See, I've left a gap. I'm just going to put a little bubble on the ends. I'll do a few going down back. They don't have to be the same size. You see, just mix them up a bit. And same on this one. Just put the bubble on the top and then, you know, a few different sizes as you go down. That's going to give us a little bit of definition there. That's what we're after now. We've got to look at what do we want to stand out and what's going to look a bit more 3D to sort of give us that sense of depth. So here we go. This is the starting point. We can just identify those middle bits and work our way in. Okay, next with this one. Oh, Lindsay, it would look lovely, wouldn't it, as the flowers as red. But, I look forward to seeing what you're going to do with this one, actually. I think this will be a nice one. Just wanted to do something but a little bit different. Okay. So I'm going to come in with pencil first. As you know, I like to put my colour in last. So I'm going to do pencil first. And I'm going to leave this because I'm going to do this red. But of course, in these bits here, I'm just going to add a little bit of pencil either side. See, on this side too. And again, it might not be as clear, but once we put some white chalk pencil in there as well, it's make a difference. Okay. So I'm just going to accentuate those a little bit. There we go. Same on here, sort of filling it in. You see? And down the other side. Up on this one, and down the other side. Okay. So then let's look at our shapes here. And I'm just going to add a little bit on the insides of these. So there, there, there. Same on this side. So just sort of where it looks like it's folding. And then a little bit just at the bottom there. Working it round. And see, just a little bit in there. And just sort of bits in. Down that side. And along there. Okay, same with this one. So a bit at the bottom and then just sort of where it looks like it's folding. Of course, because they're different sizes, some are going to have slightly a bit more graphite than others. In some cases, just one pencil line, see, will do. This one's a little bit bigger, so see, I can go a little bit thicker than those lines there. Yes, Lynn, it would be. If you're using alcohol markers, then yes, I would use alcohol markers first and watercolour, and then I'd put pencil on afterwards. If you were going to ink your tile, I would ink the tile first, and then I would go in and shade. Although a really nice one you might want to try, I actually created a tile for the tile swap, and I did all the pencil work, all shading, and then I used spray and shine over the top. And once that was dry, I then used ink pads and went round it with ink. And once it dries sort of a little bit marbly or mottly. So it might be worth something you want to have a look at. It was quite interesting. Okay, so here I'm going to just add a little bit in those little flower shapes. I'm not going to make too much of these because I don't want them to be sort of the focal point. There you go, see. And same here. So my main piece is, of course, that original shape, but just say I'm going to be a bit different and put my colour on my bubbles. But these do need a little bit of shade, but not too much. Okay, and then of course there's a few more here. We have a little one there. Okay, and into this one. And quite nice as well if you want to be quite drastic with it. These lines that we've drawn here, you could actually completely fill with black ink. So that would be really striking, and that would make those part of the main feature. Okay, let's have a look then. I'm going to come in with my tortillon, and just as we started here, I'm just going to very gently touch the sides of that shape there. I'm not overdoing it, doesn't need much, because we're going to come in with a white pencil in a minute, you see. And then of course this is just going to get brushed up, and then these we're just going to gently soften the edges. So again, because they're quite small, you don't really need much. There we go. Same here. All right. Oh, perhaps that needs a little bit more. There we go. Moving on to the larger one. So I can afford to put a little bit more pressure on this because there's a little bit more space. There we go. Same on this side. Okay. So maybe, I could go a little bit more on it, but I just want to get my white pencil in there first, and we'll see. What I could do is come back and shade it a little bit if it needs more. What I don't want is a piece that's full of graphite. I just want to add a little bit in there. Okay, and then of course our little flowers. Just going to add that in. Oh, there we go. I knew we'd get round to them all eventually. It's obviously one of those days for missing bits and pieces. Keep an eye on me. There we go. It's almost 2 weeks without Leslie Elf, that's what it is. But I must admit, actually Dobby's behaving himself. He has got new clothes. I've managed to get new socks as well. So the other ones have been cleaned. Although we did watch them in the washing machine, just so we didn't lose them. Oh, see, look, missed another one there. There we go. Right. There we are. Just softening those up a little bit. Same with this one. And of course, exciting now. Let's bring in the white. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, you can, Chris. Watercolour grey, that'd be fine. Okay, so white pencil. Just going to add a touch to the ends of those lines. You see? Same on this side. And just maybe just a little bit across the top there. It makes amazing the difference it makes, isn't it? There we go. Just a bit at the top. I might blend the bit at the top, but I'm not going to blend the white on the edges there. I'm just going to leave that touch of white on the edge. Same there. Okay. And here. See, I'm not completely going down the line either. I'm just adding a little bit to that top edge. So don't think you've got to completely do the whole line. It's just the gesture on that top edge. There we are. So you just sort of follow it through. Oh, Alison, I think it's got to be a red I'm going to use. So I'll look at that in a minute. I'm not going to use pastels. I think I'm going to use coloured pencils. It's nice to mix, isn't it? Let's have a look at that. There we go. That's lovely, isn't it? Look at that. And I think maybe just a little hint just in the middles there. Again, I don't want these to pop out too much. They're just in the background, you know, just everybody doing their job, really, isn't it? Getting on with it in there. I'm just going to bring, look, a clean tortillon. I've just filed this down a bit just to clean it off. And I'm just going to touch the tops, you know, just sort of soften that line there. Just sort of easing it off a bit, just across the top. There we go. Okay. And then my bubbles then. So I've got, let's have a look. I'm going to use a red, as I've said. I'm going to bring a little bit of pink in with it as well. And then, of course, a white pencil. So here we go. Look, I've got red, pink and white. So let's just have a look at some of these bubbles. Okay. I'm just going to add that little sort of, remember we always do that little sort of smirk. I'm just going to add that red just on there. I'm only going to do the larger bubbles. I'm not going to do the little tiny ones. I might actually come and add a bit of gold or something to there. So I'm just going to work my way around finding these bubbles. There we go. You see, just sort of adding a little bit of colour on there. And bits on here. There we go. And sort of I'm working the same direction actually today. Sometimes I don't mind. You turn your tile and it doesn't matter which way it goes. It's just happened that way today. Okay, and then of course a few up here. And I'm going to just come in with that pink. Just sort of add a little bit. I'm just trying to not completely fill it because I want a bit of white, but you know, just get a bit of shadow. You could also, oh sorry, I called that one off the page. Yeah. Oh, Lindsay, yeah, sorry, somebody asked the colour of the tile. Yeah, it's from the Earth Tiles set. It's the New Book Brown. It's quite sort of muted, isn't it, and poignant. Okay, so let's bring in this is a regular white pencil now. Okay, same out of the set that I've been using. I'm just going to bring in, oh, I do apologise, like I've done it again. There you go, I'm just going to bring in the white element on the edge of that red, you see. Just coming along. You See there? Oh, that bit there. I am having some of these pencils come in actually soon, so if anybody's in the market for some pencils, I'll have some in. Alright, same sort of over here. Just sort of finding my way really, just looking for those little pops of red. Of course you could have used a gel pen for this, or a glitter pen. I think actually it might be kind of nice if I use a glaze pen over the top. Let's have a look. Do I have one? That's not a selection here. There's so many pens now, you can imagine it gets a bit crazy. I do have a gold though. I do have gold. And yeah, I do have clear glaze. That's all it is. It's like a gel pen, but you see it's just completely clear. So if I go in, is this going to give me any issues? Let's have a look. I'm just going to try it on something just to see if I can get it going. I don't know, does it want to work? Yeah, sometimes when you've not used a gel pen just for a little bit, it doesn't want to work. Oh, there we go. See, you just have to sort of warm it up and encourage it a little bit. There we go. So all I'm doing is just sort of going over the top. You won't really see. See if I can lift it up. There you go. See, it's got a bit of a sheen on it. And there you go. Just sort of adding some to that. It'll just sort of, when it's dry, I'll just give that a little bit of more attention and bring it to the foreground a bit, really. There we are. See, it's running nicely now. Okay. Just sort of going over the top. It'll just sort of seal that colour in. It's almost like using glossy accents, but in a pen form. And then, of course, a little bit of gold. Just going to come in and see, fill a few little dots in. So anything you've perhaps not coloured in, you could use a little bit of gold. There we are. And of course I might actually think I'm going to put a bit of gold in our design in the middle there. Okay. So on these little dots, we're just going to come in and add a little bit of gold in the middle, just tiny little bits there. Same on this one. There we go. There we go. Same with this one. And this one. Just sort of touching them in the middles. There we go. So let's have a look at it and see what we've done. What I haven't done. Oh goodness me! What is it with me today? We've got to do the middle bit. Here we go. A bit of red. Let's add some of that pink in. See, it just sort of helps run the red in a little bit. And then let's bring in that white pencil. There we go. And a little bit, see if my glaze pen will work again, over the top. We'll get in a little bit there. There we go. Let that dry off. Let's have a look. Okay, so a very different take, isn't it? Yeah, I think we do need to add a little bit of shading around the outside. Again, just remembering that we've got those lines sort of coming out of the tile there. So I'm going to ignore those. So, I mean, we could have done a poppy and that would have been beautiful. But by having them sort of slightly in there and not really completely in the spotlight, it just gives it a different effect and a new take maybe on something that's so poignant and worthwhile. So we always try to fit in with the occasions if we can, and think this one, I'm kind of proud of this one. I think it works quite nicely there. It's lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I do apologise for the bit of a hiccup in the middle where my parcel arrived, but there we go. That's better. We've got a bit of shading in. So here we go. That's our November the 10th tile. Love that, you know, with a hint of colour in that place. It's just bringing a few bits out. And instead of it just being focused completely on this, you've got this at the beginning. But then you've got hints of things as well. I think let's just add a little bit of shadow. Just to sort of the sides of these. It's only when you actually look at it you see it, isn't it? Just going to go gently over. Just a little bit. See, this one hardly any space anyway, so a little bit there, just to sort of bring it back out. Oh, I'm glad you like this one. I'm not going to go over my bubbles, of course, because I've got little bits of gloss on it there, but there we go. It's nice that you can just move back and forth, isn't it, and just add bits and pieces to it. But usually once I've signed it, that's it, whatever will be. So yeah, pleased with that. I think a little bit more white pencil just in the middle there. There we go. There it is. Just look how that's just brought that out. And oh, Friday's products. Oh, I thought you'd forgotten. I was going to sign this. I thought you'd forgotten. Okay. There we are. So there's tile 189. As you know, we've got a diary. And the diary's not just any diary. And I have done a little video of this when we started making them. Because as you can see that... here we go. That's our main page. Just move my tile. There we go. And of course on the inside you've got places to tangle in and add your tiles. Look, I've even added some of my own sort of sayings and things in there. You've got obviously each month you've got a view there. Then each week you've got a different tangle down here. And then I've added to it so you can do a bit there. And then I think it's every other one you've got a little positive quote. And then towards the back, let's have a look here. I've actually added in different information for crafting, so you can sort of get all your points and things over there. And here we go. I've got oh, that's the bit I've sort of drawn in the front there, but I've also given you, you know, definitely planning possibilities at the beginning. This a little bit. Look, I've prepped ready for Friday. But something you won't have seen is just 1 second. I've got to find it now. I've got my whole desk's a mess. Is this one. There we go. So that's definitely a new one. Now I know some people did a similar one like this in a class recently, but you can see they're completely different. So if you're into your mandalas, but this one takes it a little bit further, it might be something you quite like the look of. So hopefully that one's going to be quite a nice one to do. I do have the original artwork here. Just 1 second, and I can just do a quick show of that. There we go. There's the original artwork for that one. And then of course we've also, I always try and do 2 in there if I can. Here's the other one. So things you can do is pretty cool actually with it. It's a bit different. So all right, hopefully you like that one. But yeah, let's just bring it back to this. So there we go. That's your sneak peek. And of course you've already seen the pens. You've already spotted them. So okay, have fun with this one. Let me know how you get on. Try it in different colours maybe, and try, you know, changing where you put the red in different places, or a different colour if you want to do. So yeah, I'm going to be on Create and Craft on Friday, so that does mean that our little tangling session, instead of being Friday at 2 o'clock, we're going to change it to Saturday at 2 o'clock. So, okay, if you have a bit of fun with this and post it, let me see how you're getting on, and take care in the meantime. All right, everybody, have a good day for the rest of it. I'll see you soon.